crafters, knitters, everybody, it's me. It's Rena, the slow knitter from Atlanta, Georgia. And I'm here today on the last weekend in October and wanted to check in and say hi. I'm Rena. This is Knitting Podcast, mostly about knitting and my purchases and my FOs, very few of those, my whips, a lot of those, and my hose, some of those. Okay, this is episode 20, and I haven't figured out a title for the episode, but it's going to be something like Holiday Knitting at the Beach, but that's so boring, or Carson teaches me how to sit right, or I have no knitting chairs that are proper. Anyway, welcome to the new subscribers. I know there are a lot of you, and thank you so much for coming and checking me out. I so appreciate it. And thanks to Jody and Tracy, who were kind enough to mention me on their podcast, The Grocery Girls. And mwah, mwah to you girls. I love you, and you've been very, very kind to me, and it means a lot. Oh, so all of you have come as a recommendation, from their recommendation. I hope that I entertain you, and thank you so much for subscribing to my current subscribers. Thank you for joining me again. And this one might be a little shorter simply because I don't have a lot to show. I do have some acquisitions, not a whole lot of yarny acquisitions, but I definitely have acquisitions because this girl cannot stop shopping. I will say, for the fact that I'm a slow knitter, for those of you new to this podcast and those of you who know, I started out, I was slow because I have a lot of tendonitis issues, have to take a lot of breaks. It takes me a really long time to get an FO. I am going to adjust that now. Those things are still very true. I injure myself all the time. I have tendonitis, which flares up a lot sometimes. But I realized that, and really it's through this podcasting experience and through meeting a lot of you guys, I am not a monogamous knitter. I have a little bit of like, what's the latest, greatest thing that catches my fancy that I want to cast on. So I have severe cast-on-itis. So I am adjusting why I am a slow knitter to say I suffer from frequent tendonitis, have to take long breaks, makes it really hard to finish something in a reasonable time. It takes me like twice as much time as a normal knitter takes. And then the fact that I have like all these different projects going at one time does not help. But you know, sometimes, so this is my justification, sometimes when you injure yourself, you can do smaller projects and less injury. For example, you can do socks. Now, this is my first year that I've done socks, and so I think I'm up to my 4th pair, which is pretty good since I set a resolution for doing 2 pairs. I think I'm up to my 4th or 5th pair. And I'm still learning, what's the right way for me. However, when you do a sock project, it's not these long shawl rolls, which I have a tendency to do, but just like keeps, and that motion of stopping and moving the magic loop, because I do magic loop tandem 2 at a time on 2 different needles, that stopping and switching relieves, I don't know, that's my theory. What do you think? Huh? No? Okay. So I really am adjusting it to being slow because of tendonitis and I'm cheating. I'm a cheater. I'm cheating on one knitting project to another. I am not monogamous. Like when you marry, you're monogamous for life. That's fine. I still am. Hopefully I will be for the rest of my life. Hopefully Bob will be. No, he will be. But I cheat on one knitting project after another. I'm like, oh, I'm going to put this down. I'll come back to it. And then I pick up something else. So I'm okay with that now. I'm at peace with that. I will frequently repeat this issue to you simply because I'm just bad at it. I'm a cheater. Okay, I'm a cheater. Although, I will say, for the last few weeks. As many of you may know, those who follow me on Instagram, I am in the midst of my first real sweater. I did a sweater before, but it was like so many years ago. We don't love it. You've heard that story. But this one is a real sweater, and I'm in the midst of it. So I would say that I've been more monogamous with that sweater than I've been with any other project in a long time. I might adjust the name of this podcast because I had a I had a sweater disaster, but I lost a week in the sweater. It's really what happened. I ended up finding a drop stitch between the ribbing and the body, and I thought, I can fix that. What I'll do is I'll tear out the ribbing, and I am not an experienced fixer. I am not experienced fixing mistakes, although I am going to go see Ann Budd next spring in Savannah, Georgia, and I will recount this story for her. And then she'd say, all you had to do is do this. And so I will take that lesson for future sweaters, because I am going to knit more sweaters. I really am enjoying this knit. But I can see where sweater knitting can be addictive. I can, and I'll show you that in a minute. Anyway, so that's the story of this. Okay, we're going to jump right into it. And I'm not. I didn't get to go to Rhinebeck this year. I've seen many of your photos and your videos about Rhinebeck, your podcast, your hauls, your Indian Tangled stories, your fantastic meetups, and I think David of David Dog Dare is doing a scavenger hunt thing, which I joined, but I don't know if I can. I'm going to try. Anyway, and I will say I had, I did have FOMO. I did, I'm confessing, I had FOMO. But then when I was listening to several people, they were talking about the crowds. And I'm a little bit crowd phobic. I don't like big crowds. Like, I avoid concerts in big arenas. I don't like big crowds. However, that said, I might sacrifice the big crowd phobia for going to like Indian Tangled, which I would just such severe FOMO from Indian Tangled. But I think all of your hauls, those of you who went and showed us what you got, were just fantastic. I'm just sitting here thinking, maybe I should go get, some Nicole Huloco's yarn that she did for that surprise party shawl of Helen Stewart's. I couldn't do it. It's so big. It's not for me. It sort of reminds me of that one that she started Shelf Society with. I can't, no. Or Mystery Knit Along earlier this year. No, I can't. It's too big. However, the yarns, the colors are. So I don't know if I shut the front door or I can't even. Is the package? I want it all. So I figured I could shop from home, seeing all of your beautiful recommendations. What do you think? Now, well, I will say that I contacted my niece who went to Skidmore College, which is in Saratoga, New York, which is really close to where Rhinebeck is held. And I did text her after I saw all this stuff at Rhinebeck, and I said, do you think I could do Rhinebeck? She said, well, if you do, you need to get reservations right now for a hotel, or we could just drive up there from Westchester County, and it's about an hour and a half drive. I thought, well, why don't we just do that? But then I want to go to Indian Tangle, which is Friday night. I want to go to Saturday. So I don't know. But what I thought was, well, maybe I just do back and forth. I don't know. I don't even know what the dates are for next year. I don't know. But it was really, it was so fun living through it with you online, with photos. So many people I want to say hello to that I did have severe FOMO, but I was so happy. I felt like I was part of it. So those of you who took great pictures and great videos, you did bring us 9 non-Rhinebeck attendees along with you, because we really I had a great time at Rhinebeck from Atlanta. Yeah, thanks. I appreciate it. Now I have just to order all that stuff. But one thing I probably can't get is the sock blank to Rhinebeck that Andre Sunitz has. I'm sure it's gone, but that's okay. She has other beautiful sock blanks. And I love knitting from sock blanks. I started knitting from a sock blank earlier this year, and I had a really great experience. I loved it. Anyway, so guess what? I have an FO. I know it's rare. I decided that I would go through my old project bags, which used to be Lululemon shopping bags before I discovered the whole project bag world. And for those of you who don't know, we're selling our house, and we've really been, we've cleared everything out. We had a bunch of women that came in who really organized us and really uncluttered us. And so they uncluttered my knitting closet and they organized everything, which is really great. I was so intimidated by it. But one of the big project bags was this old, it was a blanket project that I really had great intentions. Now again, this blanket project I started in 2013. 4 years. 4 years. Okay, but it doesn't matter. So I said, I've got to get rid of this project bag. What's it? Oh, it's the blanket. Ew. Well, I would say I was halfway through it. And it's a big blanket, and I was halfway through it. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to maybe do a couple more rows and bind it off, and it will be a lap blanket instead of a big full blanket, which I think actually makes sense because when I'm watching TV or I'm knitting in here, it's always cold in this room. I could just put it across my lap. It'd be perfect. So I have an FO. Yay! And here it is. It's called the November blanket. And I made it out of shepherd's wool. And this is the worsted. And then Cascade 220 is the white. And it's a great lap blanket. You know what? It's perfect. It ends up being perfect. I think I'll sit here right now and put it on my lap. It ends up being perfect size it covers my ottoman. I can put it on my feet. It's warm. It's perfect. I'll probably get more use out of it as a lap blanket than I would have as a big blanket. I haven't steamed it. I'm going to steam block it. Just put it on the ironing board with a damp towel and steam block it. But it really doesn't need much blocking since it's, it's, I don't know if you can see it. It might be too big. It's got some pearl ridges and, it's garter ridges and stockinette. It's basically what it is, so you can see it there. Oh. And it's Pam Allen from Quince & Co.'s pattern, and it's called November Blanket. And it's wonderful. So I'm really glad I decided to make this a bit of a, can you see it? Yeah. Bit of just a lap blanket. Perfect. And I was able to free the needles, throw away that ugly Lululemon big project bag, and I have a little bit of the Cascade 220 and the shepherd's wool, and I'm going to make some mitts. So win-win, win-win all around. So I'm very happy with it. It's perfect size lap blanket. Okay, moving on. This actually might be a short one for a change. For all of you that love shorter podcasts, this might be it. So, I was talking about my sweater. And what is a better time to show you the sweater than right now? So here goes. Here's the sweater. By the way, again, want to thank Michelle from Naughty Knitwits for introducing me to Luna Pie's project bag. Look at this with the sweaters in it. And it's a really big project bag for a sweater like this. And it opens up like a doctor's bag, like really well. And really pretty interior and pretty exterior with the sweaters. This is my sweater knitting bag. This will be my sweater knitting bag from now on. Luna Pie. I'll put a link in my show notes. Okay, are you ready? All right. I was talking about the sweater disaster. I was trying to fix the ribbing. Effed it up. Just effed it up. There's no other word for it. Effed it up. So I had to restart the whole thing. I restarted the whole thing. That's why I was monogamous. I was like furiously trying to catch up to where I was, which took all 10 days. I mean, it took a long time, but I'm past where I was now. And I have it back, although I almost had an accident again the other day, but I didn't. So here's my sweater. This is the Joji Locatelli Basic Raglan Pullover. I don't want to screw it up again. Could someone tell me how I can try on this sweater without losing where I am? I know there's a way, only I don't know the way. So I would really appreciate it if someone would tell me how I could try this on without losing it. I have another 1.25 inches under the arms to go before I start reducing for the shaping. Now, in this light, this is Madeline Tosh DK in the tart colorway. And it is truly magnificent. I mean, it is a magnificent color. And the richness of this color just keeps blowing me away every time I use it. In fact, I posted on Instagram that I went to the nail salon and I got matching, not intentionally, my mind must be on this color. So I was like picking up this nail polish. Oh, I like that. And I come home like, oh my God, it matches the sweater. Anyway, so I have an 1.25 inches left before I start the shaping. I'm doing the small size. So I bought the yarn at a local yarn shop called Yarning for You. And one of the gals there said, I've got a sweater's worth quantity of this. So I bought it, but it took me like months to do it. So where I had screwed up before was between here and here. I didn't screw up this time. And we'll see how it comes out, but I'm really excited about doing the rest of it. So, you know, when you look forward to like the next step, and the next step really is the shaping, and I'm about 1.25 inches away from there. But this is selfish knitting. This is not holiday knitting. So it's purely selfish, but it is somewhat addicting. And I'm using, let me see if I pronounce this right, Likia needles. Licky. I know it's Lykke, Licky needles, and I love working on them, and ended up buying the thick the set because I want to do more on them. So I do like it a lot. So and I like to see how it's coming along. Anyway, that's the story of my basic raglan pullover designed by Joji Locatelli. It's very, very big. I wanted a crew neck raglan pullover. I think I might do the sides a little longer. I am not going to go down a needle size for the bottom ribbing because I like things a little looser. So I'm just going to stick to the size 6 and then do the sleeves and probably anyway, yeah, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. We're not there yet. But I do love it, and I do love the experience of knitting a sweater. So, and that's what I was looking for. I was looking for enjoying it, and I do. And if I didn't enjoy it, I probably wouldn't be doing it. But I am enjoying it. So again, in my Luna Pie project bag. Yay! Anyway, so that's the sweater. Okay, now, for those of you who may have seen this, I'm trying, or I'm in the midst of trying, a sock from Arnie and Carlos's Perfect line. They're German designers, for those of you who know. The wool is Regia wool, which is a German wool. And I will get the one that I did. This is a hoe and a half. Hold on, I'm going to get the other one so you can see the other one. Okay, this is a hoe. So the first half of the hoe, this is a sock for my husband Bob. And this is one that I showed on a previous podcast. I got a little sock blocker thing. And so I finished one and I used the Fish Lips Kiss heel for the first time. I'm gonna try it again on the second sock. So this one I think was a good experience. The second one I had a little bit of a hiccup with because with Arnie and Carlos's Perfect line, you begin the sock, it has to be cuffed down, it can't be toe up. I'm a toe up sock knitter. I've become a toe up sock knitter and prefer it actually. But this one, because of the way the manufacturer of the wool, and this is a commercial German wool, has designed the yarn, it has to be done cuffed down. So whether you like it or not, unless you're doing, I don't know, I don't even know, I guess you wind, I don't know, I guess you could wind it up and separate them. Anyway, so I'm on to the second sock now. I am slightly suffering from second sock syndrome. This is why I'm not crazy about doing cuff down socks. You can still do cuff down 2 at a time, 2 socks. But I'm just partial to toe up. Anyway, so I am, not too far. This is the second sock. And I'm close. I'm really working on the body now, and about here is where I start to put in the heel. So not too bad. Not too bad. Yeah, I'm close to doing the heel. And somehow when you do the heel on these, you feel like, okay, I'm there, I'm almost there. So that's a hoe and a half. A hoe and a half. Okay, it's not, all right. Anyway, this I'm bringing to the beach. We're going to the beach tomorrow for the month of November. We're gonna have Thanksgiving down there. And I'll be finishing this sock while I'm down there. And it's small enough and quick enough that I can finish it. And I again, when I'm suffering from bad bowel tendonitis, somehow doing the sock isn't as severe. It doesn't cause as severe discomfort. And this is being held in one of my favorite project bags. This is from Renee of Lowlands Original in the Netherlands. And she's become an Insta friend of mine. And I have 2 other Renee bags I'm about to get started. I prefer drawstring because I've lost too many yarn skeins to zipper bags. Although now I have a tendency to leave my zipper bags open just in case I have an accident. Okay, we'll continue on the sock trend. Last spring, I bought a skein of Ancient Arts yarn in the Weimaraner color. I have 2 dogs, Bella and Zoe. They are Weimaraners. They're rescues. Who would give up a Weimaraner? Anyway, they're rescues. And so Zoe and Bella are both different color coats, by the way. Zoe is more like a mouse brown coat, and Bella is traditional Weimaraner gray ghost, they call the Weimaraners. So I bought that. Then I went to the local yarn store down at the beach, Destin Yarn Shop. Hi, Carol. And Carol and Destin Yarn Shops will carry Ancient Arts here and there. And they had a colorway called Border Collie, and I really liked it. So I contacted them. I wanted to make socks for my niece, Kim, who breeds and owns Shelties. She also owns other dogs, but she has 6 dogs, seriously, 6. But she started out with Shelties, and she has like the 4th or 5th generation of the one that she started with. I mean, it's incredible. So I contacted Ancient Arts because they have a woof line. They have a meow line, a woof line, and then their other gorgeous yarns. And so I reached out to them and I said, I don't know, I didn't notice that you had any Sheltie. Do you have a Sheltie colorway? And they said, no, the closest thing to that would be our Saint Bernard, which is similar coloring to a Sheltie. Okay. They said, well, why don't you send us a picture of the Sheltie that you're talking about, and maybe we could do a little adjustment. I was like, oh, so I did. I sent them a picture of one of Kim's Shelties, one of her current Shelties, and they made this incredible colorway for me. I'm telling you, Ancient Arts, fantastic company. They're a Canadian company, fantastic. So I started, so I got the Sheltie colorway maybe May or so, and I think I showed it on a podcast I did back then. I finally got off my duff and was organizing my stash a little bit, of my mini stash, and came across one, and I thought, I better get started on Kim socks, and that would be a great compliment. And so here, I've just started. Here is the Sheltie colorway. When I wound it up, came out looking like this. And I mean, it has browns and blacks and whites, and the brown is a caramel color, and you can see it here a little bit of how it's turning out. But I found this little mini from Lauren at Lolo Did It, and I thought it went really well with it. And I ran it by some folks. I'll tell you about these folks, and they went, oh yeah, that's going to look great. And they were right. Also, look at the little progress keeper that was gifted to me from Sherlyn on Instagram. Sherlyn is a friend of mine, and she gifted it to me, and they're Knitty by Nature. It's a sock sneaker project. It's so adorable. I had to put it on these socks. I had to. So I'm going to work on these as well. This is Christmas gift for Kim. I will say, taking a break and doing the Arnie and Carlos Perfect, there's nothing like knitting socks from Indie Dyer yarn. I'm sorry, there just isn't. I'm using Mina Phillips, who's one of my favorite sock designers. Her vanilla sock pattern, she's this German short row heels is what she recommends on that particular pattern. I must try that again, but I'm not going to try it on this sock. I might try it on another. But this sock, I'll do the Afterthought heel, which I really have come to like a lot. Unless I get really proficient on this Fish Lips Kiss heel. I don't know, I might. I don't know, we'll see. But I'm holding this in cute little My Needle Crafts project bag. It's a 2 at a time sock bag. So in the middle, you'll see that it's split, and there's a little divider pocket for things. This is where I put the yarn label that I'm going to send to Kim when I send her the socks. This is the photo. Can you see it? That's how they developed the color from my photo that I sent them. And they put it on the label. So cool. They're really fantastic people. Anyway, Ancient Arts, but My Needle Craft. Cool little 2 at a time sock bag. And I'll put the links of all that I mentioned below. So yeah, I'm really happy the way this is coming out. And again, for those of you who know already, I do them tandem. Right? 10 rows, 10 rows, 10 rows, 10 rows. And by the end, I have 2. I'm done. I don't have second sock syndrome like I'm having with this Arnie and Carlos thing. But Bob really likes it. So, yay. He gets it then. He likes it. He can have it. And I should be finished with them. And hopefully, you know what? I'll talk about this when I talk about something else. But I can actually stand up, well, not walk around, but stand up, lean against the counter, and knit, which is really good for you ergonomically. And I'll tell you what I mean by that in a little bit. All right, so that's another whip. So I have a hoe and a half, FO, hoe and a half, whip. Whip number 1. So I'm only going to show you one other whip. I have way too many whips. I don't want to, and because I've been monogamously knitting on this sweater, I don't have a lot of progress to show. Although, so, I don't know where I saw this lately, but it reminded me that I need to get back to this. And this could be, I don't want to say it's holiday knitting. It's sort of in between projects knitting. Like I have any time for that. I do not, but I took it out again. I revisited. Oh, I know what I wanted to. I noticed that the photo that I had on Ravelry was not the right photo. So I took it out again to take another photo. And I was like, why don't I bring that with me to the beach? This is the, just went totally blank. Memory blanket. Georgie Nicholson on Ravelry has a free pattern, and it's a memory blanket pattern that you use up all of your little minis. And it's a mitered square blanket. Have you seen it? You probably have seen this, and a lot of you have worked on one, and really pretty beautiful. And so when I did Knit Stars 1, we had an option to purchase a lot of Koigu yarn, and I love Koigu. I just think, and one of the segments on Knit Stars 1 was really about Koigu, featuring the dyer, featuring the brains behind Koigu. So I had gotten a lot of bunch of these little mini skeins from Koigu that I ordered as part of my Knit Stars experience, and I decided what a perfect memory blanket it would make. So this is where I am. Not very far. Obviously, I only have 6 squares, but adding a square would be a piece of cake. And I have a lot of this Koigu left over. Then I saw on maybe Instagram, probably, because that's where I see everything. Chaigu, which seems to be a store somewhere, maybe in New York. I don't know where it is. They had a bunch of these little Koigu minis, and I thought, oh, perfect. That will be perfect for my memory blanket, which is really going to be sort of a Koigu centered memory blanket. Now, it's not going to be very big I'm just going to take a bunch of them out. It's not going to be very big if I only use the Koigu, but I mean, look at all these beautiful colors. Look at all this. I mean, and there's more in here. There's a lot more in here. So I can make little squares out of each one of them, and add them to my mini piles. But I was going to make a square out of each one, and then make that the center of the blanket, and then use all of my leftover sock yarn and stuff for the rest of it. What do you think? That's a good idea? Yeah, I think it's a good idea. So we're going to go with that. And this might be good travel knitting on the way down to the beach, or I don't know. I enjoy it, and I thought, yeah, I need to get back to that. So this is coming with me for holiday knitting, although it's really not a holiday gift. I'm hoping, so let me tell you what I'm going to finish. I don't want to show you any of this because it'll just drive you crazy like it's driving me. So I'm leaving some stuff home. Going to concentrate mostly, not too much on selfish knitting, mostly on holidays. So I'm going to finish Grocery Girls shawl by Hohi. Make progress on the sweater. Make good progress on the sweater. Finish Bob's sock. Finish Kim's sock. That's a holiday gift. I have to turn around to look at my project bags because they're all like waiting to be packed away for tomorrow's trip. Hold on. Oh yeah, I'm making the Raina shawl for my niece Courtney. I'm about a third of the way finished. So I'm going to finish that while I'm down there. Hope to finish it. I'll work on it while I'm down there. Hold on, I'm looking again. Oh, the rest are selfish knitting. But that's a lot, right? And of course, I'm going to visit the Destin Yarn shop, and you know I'm going to buy something, but I have my eye on what I'm going to buy. I know what I'm going to buy. I'm going to buy an additional, I love Malabrigo sock yarn. I'm crazy gaga for Malabrigo sock yarn. She has a good selection of them, so I'll probably buy a couple of neutrals and do that. So anyway, that's all for the whips and the knitting. Don't you think that's enough? I do. Okay. Goodbye. That's good. That's good. Now, on to, let's not lose the instructions for the memory blanket, which just somehow got separated because I showed it to you. All right, listen. I am seeking some help with prioritizing my gift giving, because last year I didn't do any gift knitting. This year I'm hoping to do a few things. I'm setting standards low, and I don't know how many of you. I'm a big Helen Stewart Curious Handmade fan, and get her newsletter, listen to her audio podcasts, her video podcasts. I'm on my second shawl from the Shawl Society 2, which ended, but I'm in the midst of the Vila wrap, which I love. I was knitting on that a little this morning. But again, it's selfish knitting, so it's not a holiday priority. But I really enjoy knitting it, so I'll continue to do it. But Helen, in order to help you through your holiday knitting, has come up with a knit vent worksheet. I don't know if you can see it. Knit vent worksheet. And what this does is a holiday gift knitting planner. Okay? Looks backwards to me, but maybe you can see it. All right. And in there, it's a project planning tool. So the project plan is who's your knitworthy person, what is the item in the pattern, what is the yarn you're using, and what needles and notions, and what estimated hours to knit the item. Now, for me, not monogamous, injury prone, slow, I don't know how many hours. I don't know. But then she says, she has like a whole thing. Anyway, go to her website, curioushandmade.com, and I think I think you can download it. I'm not sure. You might have to do something. But there's all things of like, she has a Curious Handmade knitting calculator, which is, there are blank days until Christmas / I need the gifts. I have B hours, B, and look, I'm sign languaging B. This is B in sign language. I have B hours each day to knit. So A times B equals TAKT, T-A-K-T, total available knitting time. I mean, this is some math behind this. She is a designer. I am planning approximately Y hours. Now you get into algebra. Okay, there was a reason I flunked algebra. I am planning approximately Y hours of total knitting, which is OKT, which is optimistic knitting time. This thing, it's like half funny, half, it could be a tool for me. So if total available knitting time is more than optimistic knitting time, congratulations and do a happy dance. If total available knitting time is less than optimistic knitting time, Don't panic. She says, consider the following. Bigger needles, thicker yarn, smaller items, Etsy. It's you know what? It's sort of handy. And it's great. And she offers a bundle, like one of her, like if you order 4, the cheapest pattern is free, or something like that. And she also offered those of us who subscribe to her newsletter, if to buy 2 patterns and the cheaper item is free. So I did. I downloaded 2 of her patterns that I've been wanting to make. One is a hat, a cabled hat, which I really love, which I could use the Cascade 220, because I have a lot of that left to make. And then another is just a smaller kerchief shawl, not a big shawl, just really manageable for me. So, but check out KnitVent, because KnitVent is a good tool for those who may feel overwhelmed by holiday knitting here at the end of October, knowing that you only have less than 2 months, well, about 2 months to go, which is really not that much time. Really not that much time. Okay, let's talk about acquisitions. Okay, here we are at the acquisitions section. I don't have a lot of yarn to show. I have a lot of other things to show, but not a lot of yarn. Not because I was on a yarn diet, but I don't know. I thought, well, maybe I should. Yeah, maybe I was on a yarn diet. There were so many other things. Oh, by the way, I'll tell you something in the chatter section about knitting expenses. Remember, I said that. One of my favorite indie dyers is a local gal. Her name is Karen. She is I Knit To, Purl To on Instagram, and she is the dyer behind Corda Bella Yarns. So she showed a sock on Instagram that she had done with her sock yarn that she dyed. I about flipped out and thought, oh my God, that's so fantastically perfect. I want it. So I ordered it. Look at this yarn. First of all, there's her label. Let me make sure that you can see her label. Focus, camera. There you go. Corda Bella yarn. But look at this. I don't usually go for these sort of loud, different colors. I mean, look at this hot pink in here, these greens, this black, these blues, yellows. But when this is knit up into a sock, and she showed it knit up into a sock, it was like, oh, I have to have that yarn, I have to have that yarn. So I ordered it. I ordered it a while ago, and I guess I forgot to show it to you. But look at it. It's so colorful, but knit up into a sock is pretty fantastic. So, and I have a lot of minis that match these colors that I will use. She always includes a cute little project keeper. This is a seashell progress keeper. Let's see if you can see it if I hold it up against there. That's her logo. It's a little seashell. I don't know if you can see it. But that's her card. Corda Bella Yarns. Look her up. I mean, she has really lovely, lovely colorways. And she's local, and I like supporting the Atlanta community where I'm from. So, anyway, that's Corda Bella. Okay. I'm having a bit of a heart attack. You know why? Because I can't remember what I ordered from Kim at Barnyard Knits. Okay, I really love her color selections, her choices. There's a lot of natural elements that she uses in terms of color that I'm just attracted to. And I don't want to say they're neutrals, but they lean more towards neutrals that you can really add to. But I showed this to a friend of mine the other day. I was like, oh yeah, Barnyard, you must shop with Kim at Barnyard. So apparently, I joined a sock club. I might have. I will say I probably did. And this was the first installment. It's called Wheatfield. Do you know what I mean when I say natural elements in... This looks like it could be from a wheat field. Look at the colors. This sort of gold and browns and light beige. I don't even, first of all, this is on her superwash merino, 25% nylon, 75% superwash merino. It's about 463 yards, 100 grams. This is the first installment. I can't wait to see the next two. I'm pretty sure that these are going to be socks. I don't know. I'll see what comes across next, and I'll think about what I'm going to do with them. I got another one of her skeins about a month, maybe 2 months ago, called Stone Harbor, which has got blacks and grays. It's sort of moody. It's just a really attractive color, particularly this time of year when you want to do fall-like things. And so, yeah, it's Barnyard Knits. And she always includes, this time, the last time was a stitch marker called I Love Knitting. This one is a little, I'll show it to you, a little, like antelope or something. A deer with a, yeah, you know what I mean. So that's going to be fun to knit with, and I'm going to keep it on my favorite, which I can't find right this, oh yeah, there's, wait, hold on. Favorite stitch markers, which are the, not the clover, but the, it is, yeah, these little stitch markers. So I'm gonna, I'm gonna put it on there so I can use it as a progress keeper and not lose it. What do they call these? Light bulb stitch markers? Oh, so cute. Of course, I'm in love with Melissa's from Knitty by Nature's, everything she does. I am having a giveaway soon, and I'm going to order some Progress Keepers stitch markers from Melissa at Knitty by Nature, simply because I think they're so fun and cool and fun. So, yeah, Barnyard Knits. I want to do, the next one I'll do, which I'll do the first of the year, I won't do this now, obviously, is the Comfort Cardi by Andrea Mowry. And she had a kit. She had a kit of similar type of earthy, just the way she captures these colors. They're not bright. These colors are not like neon-y bright. These are really sort of toned down. I would say they were elegant. Yeah, they're elegant looking. And so she had a whole Comfort Cardi kit. So I ordered that. It's going to be on the way here. I'll be at the beach, but when I get back, it'll be here. So that's my yarn. That's all I bought for yarn. Not bad. I'm in some sort of control, maybe. I keep dropping things. All right, another thing I bought, totally unrelated to, although I look at this as an accessory. It's an accessory, sorta, kinda. It's a t-shirt, and it says this. I think I posted it. My black and white challenge, right? All I need is love and knitting and a dog or two. I just added the or two because I have 2 dogs. So I was gonna wear it on my podcast today, but it's a little chilly here in Atlanta too. I know. Oh, I wore my sweatshirt. But yeah, I'm gonna bring this down the beach with me. Walk around, and people will think, who's that crazy knitty lady? Me. That's fun. I did buy a lot of publications. I got the new edition of Making. And what I really love to do with these magazines, obviously, is, what's great about this magazine, Making? It's for makers of all kinds. Not just knitters, not just crocheters, but makers. And I really, really love that. And that's really our community, isn't it? I mean, we're makers. I mean, we have people that, and there's even recipes in here. Recipes. Not that I will make it, but let's touch a look at it and read it. And there's like how to make an apron and stuff for kids. Look at this cute thing. So cute. And little purses and buckets, and then there's this beautiful cowl. So I love like leafing through here and maybe getting some ideas. I am going to do what many of you do, which is go and get it spiral bound, like cut up this and get it spiral bound, so I can like look at it. Look at this cute hat. So there's all sorts of patterns in here, and all sorts of making designs. This, I believe, is put out by Carrie Bostic Hogue, Matter, on Instagram. She's known by Matter, M-A-D-D-E-R. There's handwork, beauty and utility, home, knitwear, patterns, things to wear, kids stuff, embroidery. I mean, it's just a great tool to have, really. When you just need some inspiration, flip through this. I love these books. I just love these books. Okay, one of my favorite people in the world. I've never met her, but I feel like I know her, Hannah Thiessen. Slow knitting. For the slow knitter. Not that kind of slow. But when I saw this book was coming out, I pre-ordered it. And I told Hannah, I said, I had to pre-order the book. My name is The Slow Knitter. This is Slow Knitting. And really, it's just the movement of taking your time and really treasuring the whole knitting experience. Sort of like slow food, slow cooking, really, really not rushing through projects, but really savoring them. And there are some fantastic patterns in here. Tuska cardigan, that might be my first cardigan. Haven't done, but, and the yarns, and there's a profile of either the yarns or the designers, and I would never go to Kinko's and have them, or wherever those, and have them cut this book up. First of all, it's beautiful. It's like a coffee table book. And this is, look at this pattern. I mean, that's like snuggly over pajamas. It's called the Wild Grains pattern, and it's by Jennifer Wood. She was at Rhinebeck signing these books. She was next to Clara Parks. Could you just die? And somebody else, I forgot. There's an article in here by Karen Templer from Fringe Supply Company. I mean, it's just really thoughtful. You know, it's like source carefully, make thoughtfully, think environmentally, experiment fearlessly, explore openly. I mean, that's the whole point. It's sort of like, the point is the world moves at such a rapid pace. We just, instant gratification, quick, everything. And it's sort of like, no, savor it. And I first of all, Hannah doesn't live, she lives, I think, outside Nashville. And I'm 2 hours, or somewhere in Tennessee, and I'm a couple of hours away. So Hannah, we're gonna have to like meet up at maybe Knitter's Niche in Blairsville, Georgia, somewhere. I just love it. And the subtitle of the book is A Journey from Sheep to Skein to Stitch. Is that fit? You know, I might want to frame that. Slow knitting, a journey from sheep to skein to stitch. It's so beautiful. The photography is incredible. It's just incredible. Anyway, I love it. Hannah, thank you and congratulations. This is, I know, Hannah's first book, I think. Am I wrong? I don't know. But it's really beautiful. It is magnificent. And it's published by Abrams, so it's, anyway, I bought two, by mistake, but I'm gonna give away one, so look out, maybe I'll give away one Now, if you would like a copy of Slow Knitting by Hannah Thiessen, it's a really simple thing you have to do. You have to be, it's a YouTube only giveaway. Take a look at this. Tell me why you savor your knitting. I mean, keep to the premise of the book, which is from sheep to skein to stitch, and why slow knitting is really something that you would love to do. So this is a YouTube giveaway. Let's see, today is October the 27th, and let's say we'll run it through November 15th. Slow Knitting giveaway, Slow Knitting the book giveaway. Not signed, unfortunately. But it is a really wonderful book, and I want to get the word out about the book. So the more of you that have it, and then you can spread the word, it would be really, really great. And I would thank you for it deeply. So tell me why you savor your knitting. I will do random number generator. It would be really great if you would subscribe to the channel if you have not. Because I'm always looking for new subscribers. But yeah, slow knitting. So the giveaway is slow knitting. So let's do it. All right, so we'll do it we'll do it for a month, okay? I will be back from the beach on November the 27th, exactly a month from today. And exactly a month from today, I will be giving this away only on YouTube, only for my YouTube viewers. So spread the word about it. Get people to come to my channel and click on this video, and they may have an opportunity to win this, and you guys may have an opportunity to win this. So yeah, YouTube giveaway, the book, not yarn. We're coming to yarn at another giveaway time, probably my podiversary, which is, I can't believe it, it's December 3rd or something. I can't believe it. Anyway, but the most important book I read, moving on, the most important purchase I made recently was this book, because I don't sit correctly. This is Carson Demure's book on knitting comfortably, or knitting correctly, or being in a good position when you knit. And I will tell you that there are very few chairs in this house that I sit in and knit that are not TV comfortable knitting chairs, not recliners, not ottoman kind of chairs. It's my kitchen table chair that I can knit comfortably at. And it's because my posture is probably most correct in that chair. Yeah, you heard me. Not TV chairs. But if you do TV chairs, I mean, for people like me, a lot of people can do it. They can knit in bed, they can knit anywhere and not really suffer any of the consequences. Well, apparently, I held my neck wrong, I held my arms wrong. There's a whole lot of, and great thought went into this. It was edited by Ann Budd, which is really a great testament. It has a foreword by Kat Bowden, Kat Bordai. When I first saw this book, I thought, oh, that's pretty pricey. But you know why it's pretty pricey? First of all, it's huge. It's like it's heavy. And the photography is amazing. It's amazing. And he uses knitting terminology when he talks about things, the fiber we knit with in our bodies. He has all sorts of like pictures and stuff. But I think one of my favorite pictures is like slumping when we knit. How many of us actually slump? Yeah, guilty. And that may be why I'm so uncomfortable. But what was really interesting, and I'm reading the book from the beginning so that I get a little bit of background. Look at this picture. How many of us knit in the super slumped position? Super slumpy is so bad. Why didn't our ancestors have as much problem as we had? Was because when people began to knit hundreds and hundreds of years ago, a lot of them were knitting amongst 100 other tasks they were doing. They were farming, they weren't sitting down for hours at a time knitting. They were moving around, they were baking, they were knitting, they were moving, they were in the fields, they were walking with their knitting. They were doing so many different things that they were using other muscles in the body. We, for the last, I would say, really since the early 1900s, early 20th century, knitters became, or even in the mid 1800s, knitting, maybe even earlier, maybe I don't have my history right, but maybe even earlier than that. It was like a ladies' thing, and ladies sat and knit. Well, when knitting first began, that was really not the way it was. So we overuse muscles and tendons and ligaments and all kinds of things that impede our ability to knit comfortably. Carson is a physical therapist. He's a knitter, so he gets it. And I know he's been at some of these Ann Budd retreats. I know I've seen him at that. And I contacted him about where he was going to appear next, or and he said, if you want him to make an appearance, you might want to get your local yarn store and get a whole bunch of people together and he'll fly in and do a class. So I don't know. I don't think I'm going to do that. I'm not going to take the initiative to do that. But with all the things that we do where we sitting too much, I had a big lecture from my massage therapist, my chiropractor, about that yesterday. Sitting too much, computing too much, on the tablets too much, that we have a tendency to use these, our wrists, our elbows, our necks, the way we hold our necks, the way we lean down, really inefficiently for the body. And so you get injury. And since I'm injury prone, I decided I'm going to go for it. I'm going to get for it. And there's Carson. He's a cute little doggy. So I'm going to give him a shout out on this podcast, let him know that I did it about the book, because the book is really a gem and every knitter needs to have it or go to his class. It's valuable because of the information. Even if you still slump and still watch TV and still do that stuff, at least you'll be aware of it. And I've decided, since I have my handy iWatch, that I'm going to time myself. Like every 20 minutes, I got to put it down, get up, walk around, do other tasks, do other chores around the house. Not on the computer, not where I'm doing this kind of thing. But, and there's plenty to do. Take a ride, take a walk. Well, I can't really walk that much. But anyway, yeah. Get it if you can. I just think it's going to be great. All right, some chatter. Let's go to the chatter section. I had a really great experience recently. I met Beth from who is Little Izzy Knits on Instagram, and her husband Art. They were in Atlanta, and we met up and we had a nice coffee at a local Panera Bread company. And Beth, hello. It was so fun to meet you, and so fun to and I'll put in a picture of us here. So fun to get to know you and Art, and learn really about you and your family and all the different things that we talked about. It was really, really great. We talked a lot about Atlanta, about the city, and about different neighborhoods, and it was so great. And that was the first time that I've met up without knowing anybody previously, which is really scary and fun, but it turned out to be so great. I love you, Beth. It was so great meeting you, and hello. I know you're happily back in Utah now. Happy to be back home. So that was really great to meet Beth. We are headed to the beach tomorrow for the month of November. We celebrate Thanksgiving at the beach. So, and the weather down there is going to be better for me. I can't take the heat that much. So when we were down in August, I did not have a great time because I was really restricted. It was just too hot for me. But it will be beautiful down there. This is one of the best months to be down at the beach. April, October, November, it's really special. So I'm excited about going down to the beach. And there I'm going to, as you know, as I mentioned, I'm going to do as much beach knitting. I'm going to see my friend Martha down there. Hi, Martha. She's going to help me a little bit with the sweater. And we're going to spend a lot of time knitting together. She said she's been through her stash and was willing to open up her stash to me. Not that I need any. Thank you very much. I do not need any. But I will take a look. You never know. I'm doing Knit Stars too, and I am in freaking love with everything that I've been watching so far on Knit Stars 2. Shelly from Loops in Tulsa, Oklahoma, you have again outdone yourself. It's like going to knitting school. It's sort of like, oh, we've had great lessons from Stephen B., who is just, wow. That's all I have to say. We've had great lessons from Andrea Mowry, so if you have a chance, when it opens back up to do Knit Stars 1 or 2, grab it, because it will change your knitting life. It will change how you look at your knitting. It's really from picking colors to farming and the different sheep and learning about dyeing and learning about it. I can't say enough. Again, I'm fangirling again on Knit Stars. 1 was fantastic. 2's as good. Sometimes, I don't want to say better, because Knit Stars 1 was so fantastic. I've gone back to Knit Stars 1 after watching Knit Stars 2. I'm not even caught up to Knit Stars 2. I'm still behind. But I'm so behind because I really want to like concentrate on it. So I'm glad that I'm going to the beach so I can concentrate on the rest of my Knit Stars. But yeah, Beata from Hedgehog is on there. Andrea Mowry, Nancy Marchand. I mean, it is just content rich for knitters. It's not cheap. I'm telling you, it's pricey, but it is invaluable. Particularly, I'm a better learner. I'm a better audio learner, visual learner than I am like just reading a book. But I have to say, Knit Stars 2 is pretty fantastic. And I think my fellow participants would agree that after every session, you're just blown away. And I'm totally blown away. So I've already picked out a couple of Andrea Mowry projects. I'm going to attempt brioche. She's got some great videos on brioche, which is just on YouTube in general, and they're really, really easy, and I've been trying to challenge it. I reintroduced myself to my Nancy Marchand Craftsy class, which I purchased a while ago, and I reran it to relearn or get a better feel for brioche. Anyway, but the best thing I've discovered over the last few weeks is a virtual knit night. Okay, it's called Babbel's Virtual Knit Nights, and go to their Facebook page, Babbel's Virtual Knit Night, and I'm on there a couple times a week. Some people are on there every day. I'm on there a couple times a week. Ellie from Skein Deer Knits is on there. Some fantastic people. A lot of dyers. Mars from Brown Berry's on there. I mean, there's just, and suddenly you're meeting people from all over the world, and you're knitting together, and you're on screen with each other. And they've given me some great advice. They helped me pick these toes for my niece Kim's sock. I was talking about brioche. They go, you have to do Exploration Station from Stephen West. So it's really a great group. So check out Babbel's, VKNS, Babbel's Knit Night, Virtual Knit Night on Facebook, and join, and they'll give you instructions on how to join it. So I usually stop by Sunday mornings and once during the week, even for a short time, just to say hello and check in with everybody and what they're doing. They're a fun group of people. Anyway, I think that's all I have for today. Thanks for stopping by. Again, thank you new subscribers for joining me. Hope you enjoyed it, and thank you to my current subscribers from the bottom of my heart, because without you, I don't know that I would be doing this. Really. I'm very thankful for all of you. There'll be a screen at the end where you can find me on Instagram and YouTube. I'm the Slow Knitter. I have a website, theslownitr.com. That's where I wrote a blog about Tracy and Jody and the Grocery Girls, so stop by that. I have a new logo, the Slow Knitter logo, done by Kaba Creative out of Canada. They did a fantastic job. And all that can be found on the website. I'm still putting it together, but it's mostly put together as best as this web developer challenge person can do. Stop by theslownitr.com. Give me your opinion on the logo. And I think thank you, Kaba, for doing that. And thanks everyone for stopping by. To my virtual knit night friends, to my subscribers, to all you new subscribers. I might record, I'll probably record sometime when I'm down at the beach. Okay, love you. Have a great next couple weeks, and I'll see you on the other side. Okay, have a good one. Bye.